So this is only given to the top 3 councils.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Hi, I'm Kumin.
hi, I'm Liang.
So in today's episode, we have Liang here, who is a graduate from Queen's University Belfast in 2019, to share his experience on his UKT program. So as an introduction, could you tell us why did you want to do law in the first place?
So the funny thing is that I actually never intended to do law. So when I was a kid, I was a huge history geek. So I was really into this game called Assassin's Creed. So it's a fictional game that basically illustrates multiple timeline history. So yeah, I was really more into history and stuff like that. Then I sort of delved into the ideas like, okay, law, history, it's not that far apart, right? So yeah, so that's why I decided to kind of study law and by accident stumbled into the whole thing.
Yeah. So why did you decide to do a UKT then?
So I did my A-levels in BAC. So after doing my A-levels, I was kind of like a bit puzzled as to what I wanted to do. And my thought process then was just like, okay, I've been doing law for like 1.5 years. I was kind of okay with it, and got a B for law. So I'm just like, okay, sure, let's do law. I mean, that's kind of like the natural progression they tell you at BAC anyways. So as to why I wanted to do the UKT program, as you know, the A-levels is an exam focus, an external exam. So I wasn't really acing that aspect. It's kind of funny because I'm doing the CLB right now, which is 100% exam. So the UKT program has a mixed module in the sense that it's 25% exam, 25% assignment based and 75% exam focused. So it gives you a balance between assignment and exams.
Can you give us the examples of the assignments then? What do they usually use?
So the assignments are usually, it's basically like a problem question. So it's a 4,000 word assignment, and yeah, they give you a problem and you're supposed to just answer it. So they'll ask questions like, for instance, evidence. They'll ask you, for my year, they'll ask the 7 limbs of the burden of proof and like the reversal of burden, and then how is that like compatible with the Human Rights Act in the UK. So yeah, that was one instance. So it's a long problem question. So yeah, that's why you do for your assignment.
How is your course structured then, this UKT program?
So our course is basically structured, so in the local institution, which is BAC, it's 4 subjects, 1 academic year. And each 4 subjects, you have an assignment and a final exam. So in your first year, you do tort, criminal, common law, and kind of forgot what's the 4th. Yeah, there's that. It's been a while. And then in my second year, I did evidence, company. I did contract in my first year and then tort in my second year. So it was evidence, company, tort, and lead.
Oh
yes. And then in your final year, that totally depends on like which partner you go into. Yeah. So the requirements that the UKT was, I think it was a really low requirement. I think as long as you pass your A-levels, you naturally can just progress through UKT. Unlike like let's say if you were to do 3 years in the UK, so that's totally dependent on the university itself. So it will usually be like 2 A's, 1 B for your A-levels, or 2 B, 1 A for your A-levels. And the additional requirements in going to the UK is just your 1119 requirements. They also have an average, like you need to have a certain average to qualify for a university. So some will be like 60%, some will be 65%. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's a bit lower when you go in your first year. So that's why people try to go like 1+2 because like it's a low average to qualify for all of the universities. And then you get 2 years in the university, which is a lot better because you can like sort of like acclimatize your whole environment in your first year, and then in your second year you can just like go at it. Yeah. So that's why. I mean, it was tough because like when you arrive there in your final year, you have to kind of like get used to this whole new environment. It's your final year there, so it was a bit difficult. But money-wise, cost-wise, it's just like a lot because people who do 1+2, they will want to do bar, or like they want to do something else. So if you do 2+1 and you do the bar, it's quite a lot of money over there. Yeah. And then if you do 3+0 and you do the bar, it's even more money there.
And when you speak of this transition, right, like you have to adapt from Malaysian wise to go to the UK, how did you personally find it then?
Personally, I studied in Belfast, so it was really nice. Because during my second year, I realized that I really love assignments. I really love research. I still love research. So when I was in Belfast, it was a very easy transition because I already know what I was getting into, and you actually get to choose your subjects beforehand. So I personally chose the subjects that were assignment based. So it's more like a lot of academic research and stuff like that. So it wasn't that hard. It's intellectually stimulating, and the lecturers really give you a lot of like prerogative to do your assignments and stuff like that. So they never really force a narrative onto you. Whereas in Malaysia, it's kind of still like academic based. Like, even though it's an assignment, there's still a script you have to follow. There's still a way you have to answer it. Like in the UK, it's just completely on your own. Whatever thought process you have, whatever views you have, you get to put in your assignments. And then the more original your views are, the better it is, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, and what has been what's the highest score you've gotten then for your assignment?
80?
80.
Yeah. It was a mid-term assessment, so basically we had 2 assignments. So there was a briefing paper I did on the Chagos Island case in the International Court of Justice. Yeah. But it was because it was a new... I actually showed my friends that briefing paper, and they say like that briefing paper was kind of like a master's standard. It wasn't a degree standard. So it was, yeah. And the briefing paper is a lot different. It's not a normal assignment. It's basically like an action guide towards the relevant stakeholders involved in that scenario. So you do like a mini analysis, and then you have to like sort of like give like who should do what and like what's the sequence and stuff like that.